I thought it was a great match. I think as the match progressed, I played better and better. She came out and played really well and aggressive and went for a forehand. And I missed a few kind of layup backhands that was a little frustrating for me. But then, you know, when I was down 2-love in the second, I just decided I'm not going to miss anymore. I'm going to just start moving my feet even better and you know, go for my shots. And slowly I started chipping away and it started going my way. And I felt like the momentum kind of shifted a little bit, and then I could see she was starting to get a little tired as well when we had the long rallies, and I was excited for that.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
Name and affiliation, please. Andrew, go ahead.
Andrew Jones, ESPN and Skate. Caroline, Jen mentioned that you broke her down physically when she talked to us, and your depth of shot on the forehand as well as your placement on the serve. Can you talk about when you have those aspects of your game working that you're still very difficult to beat?
I think so. I always had to believe in myself, and I think, you know, I think both my forehand and backhand are good shots, and, you know, my serve, I feel like I've won some free points, but also, you know, the placement is more important than power for me, and so I think I felt physically, I felt great. It's my first 3-set match in the comeback, and I feel great about it. My body feels perfect, knock on wood. So, you know, that's a big step for me as well, because you never know how your body's going to react after, you know, so many years away from the game and then playing a long match. But I felt good. I felt like I could be out there for another few sets if I had to.
Okay, Craig?
Craig here, 9 Australia. You started the tournament, I think, 636. On the live rankings, you've moved up to about 230 or so. You've been in this situation before in your previous life, but in one sense, has it surprised you with what you've already achieved?
Honestly, not really. I guess I always had to believe in myself. You know, it takes a little time just to get back into the match rhythm. You know, I was practicing really well. I felt like I had a great rhythm. I, you know, was working on my fitness to get back into good shape, and so all of that I knew. Knowing what I've experienced, you know, throughout my career, I knew where I was at, and obviously, you know, day by day, I feel like I'm getting a little bit better, and so. Would I have been, you know, surprised had I lost in the first round? No. Would I be surprised if I, you know, keep winning? Also, no. I think it was just kind of a go out there, give it your best, fight your heart out, and if I play my best tennis, I know I'm tough to beat. So someone really has to play well, and so at this point, I'm just happy to be in the 4th round, and anything can happen from now on as well.
Okay, Matt.
Matt Futterman from the New York Times. As you've been going through these last few weeks, are there things that you're seeing or experiencing that pop up that make you think, wow, I really missed that? Obviously, you miss playing on big stadiums and big courts like that. And by the same token, are there sort of headaches that come along and say, well, that was kind of a pain in the neck in this life. I forgot about that and didn't miss that too much. Curious what the balance is there.
I don't know. I think it's a different perspective for me as well, because now I have the kids here. I have so much happening off the court, and it's really exciting to see cities from different perspective as well. The kids kind of force you to get out and do something, and you know, even taking a walk or going to a museum or doing a few of those things. And so that's nice on the days off, which I probably wouldn't have done much of in the past. And I think that also does well for me, where I can recharge my batteries, and really when I'm here, I'm 100% here, I'm focused, I'm ready to go. And you know, I love playing in front of a big crowd. I love playing on the big stadiums, and that's exciting to me, and that's why, you know, I'm still playing, and you know, it's just it's a great feeling. There, you know, you can always find things that you may not enjoy as much, but at the end of the day, it's pretty cool that I get to live my passion and be a mom and kind of wear many hats, and I'm very proud of that.
Okay. Tamani.
I got Brilliant. To Monica from The Guardian. You talked on the court about, making the decision to switch to just hitting backhand cross courts and you kind of refusing to miss until you found your rhythm. I'm curious just how sharp do you feel in terms of, your thought process on the court and, problem solving and making decisions? Or is that something that's still kind of growing as well?
No, I feel pretty sharp. Obviously, when I wasn't playing myself, I was doing some commentating, and it's much easier to see everything from the outside than it is when you're on the court. But I think I learned a lot from that as well, and I think I'm seeing things pretty clearly. Sometimes the execution is maybe not perfect, but, you do your best and you try your hardest, and that's really all you can do. And I think the main thing is that I know where I need to be. I know what I need to do, and then we'll just see if I can keep the execution up.
I'm Darcy Main from ESPN.com. I remember seeing you here last year. You were out on the practice courts watching Serena. I know you said that the decision to come back was obviously months after that, but did that do anything for you about make you realize how much you missed playing in front of these huge crowds? And have you talked to her at all? I know she's busy, but over the last couple of weeks. Yeah,
I talk to her all the time. She's obviously busy now as well, but we talk all the time. She watched my match today. But, when last year I was pregnant, I was heavily pregnant. I want to say, what are we in September? So I was, 8 months pregnant at this point, and I was just here to support my friend. And obviously I worked with ESPN, so I was doing, a lot of the commentating and studio stuff, but I really wanted to support her in her last tournament, and that was something very special. I wasn't really thinking about my own comeback at that point. I was trying to figure out how I'm going to handle 2 kids. But, it's been cool that after James was born and I went on court, and all of a sudden I go, okay, well, let's give it a try. And now we're here, and that's pretty special.
Okay. Court.
WTA, Karen, congratulations. In terms of your matches in Montreal, Cincinnati, and then even your first round here, it seemed like you came off the court a little bit scratchier, like in terms of the play. What has been the difference? Because the last 2 matches, the level and clarity seems to have really set in.
Yeah, I think, it's hard to expect perfection when you haven't played for a long time. So that's not what I was expecting coming into the first 2 tournaments, and the reason why I wanted to play 2 tournaments leading into this. I wanted to kind of hit my peak and feel comfortable once I got here. But, obviously having 2 matches in Montreal I was very pleased with that. I didn't play well in Cincinnati, and, I went back on the practice court the next day, and I said, I need to find what I'm looking for out there, and, just, grinding, and one day I was like, wow, okay, I found that something. And, now I just need to repeat that over and over again. And there's something about coming back to New York that just, I felt at home, at ease. And I practiced with the girls and played points when I got here, and just kind of found my rhythm and found the little adjustments that I did technically and just kind of the overview. And as I was progressing to play points, win or lose didn't really matter, but I just wanted to feel more comfortable, and I did so. And, obviously in the first round, playing someone I'd never met before, and playing a first round, you're a little nervous, you kind of just want to get through it. And then, I played a lot better against Petra, and then I feel like I played well today again.
Okay. Willie, last question in English, please.
Willie Weinbaum from ESPN. Caroline, you've now advanced this far in 3 different decades at the U.S. Open.
Ooh, that makes me feel a little old.
What is your perspective on having done that as a teenager, as a top player, and now as a mom? I
think that's pretty cool. I think if you'd asked me as a kid growing up and said that this was, I would have done this, I would have said no way, to have the longevity, to be able to come back after having children, also to get far into this tournament so young. I mean, it's just something I'm very proud of, and something that I don't take for granted. And, I think when you're young, you always look into the future and you have hopes and dreams for what your career is going to look like. But for me, coming back now, I don't know how long I'm going to play. I get that, question all the time. you know, am I going to play 1 year? Am I going to play 5 years? I have no idea. But all I know right now is that I'm really enjoying this moment, and to be able to play on these big courts and, you know, in front of a big crowd, it's something very special and something that I will never take for granted, and something I always appreciate.